And whichever way you instinctively sit, go the other way. So you're crossing your legs the way that isn't so comfortable. And you just kind of balance things out a little bit to the way you normally sit. Take a big deep breath in. And a big deep breath out. Let that exhale be loud. Breathe all the way in. Sigh all the way out. Big full breath. And exhale. In. And out. And then in and out through the nose now. You can still use that exhale breath to release any tension, but it's just a slightly softer breath. Drop the chin into the chest. Feel that stretch into the very back of the neck, into the base of the skull. Maybe even bring the hands just to the back of the head. Assist that stretch a little bit more. Bring it in further. And then release. Take the hands to the knees. Look up, chin lifts, open through the throat. Really push your chin to the sky. And then bring it back. Keep your chest and your shoulders facing forwards. Look over your right shoulder as much as you can. Feel that stretch in the left side. And then come back through center. Look all the way over to the left, keeping both shoulders forwards. Open up into the neck. And then back to center. Take both hands out in front of you, thumbs out to the side, fingers point away. Then take the tips of your fingers down to the floor and push the heels of your hands round through the spine, arch through the back, pull the chin into chest. Should be quite a strong stretch into the palms of the hands and your forearms. And then release. Come over to all fours, hands and knees. So you're going to keep your right hand as it is. Your left hand, lift it, tuck your hand under, arm down, yeah, that's it. And fingers are back, so you're just opening out the back of your wrist. Obviously, when we do downward facing dog, our hands are flexed for a long time, so just open out through the back of your left wrist. And if you want to, you can even just lean the weight back slightly. That'll make the stretch a bit stronger. And then release, give that left wrist a shake. Plant the left wrist down, right side, bend. Open out the back of the right wrist. Breathe, maybe transferring the weight back ever so slightly. And then release, give that a shake. Round through the spine, curl through the upper back, big rotations, so move big circles through the spine, arch as much as you can, pull the waist in, scoop it round, big movements, really curling round through the spine. Don't be afraid to move into the neck, so you can lift the chin, you can round the chin. And next one, big round, hold it. And go the other way. Full rotations. Big movements round. And then crown of the head reaches forwards, tailbone travels back, find stillness, tuck the toes, lift your hips back and up, lengthen and stretch through the backs of the legs. Have a good pedal through the feet. Breathe in and breathe out. Stillness, stretching the heels down. They don't have to touch the floor, but have the intention of constantly stretching and lengthening the heels down, lifting the hips up, pushing into the hands, pulling in through the waist. Look to the hands, big step, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Rest your back knee down. Inhale, reach that right arm up to the sky, open the chest, breathe in. Breathe out one. Breathe in. Breathe out two. Inhale. Exhale three. Bring that right hand down. Move really slow. Take it back into downward facing dog. And go other side. Big step. Left foot outside of the left hand. Rest your back knee down. Reach the left arm up. Lift. Open through the chest. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Palm faces over to the left side of the room. So you're open through that left arm and the chest. And then bring the left hand down. Step back into downward facing dog. Roll the body forwards to a plank. Rest both knees. Inhale, look forwards, open the chest. Exhale, round through the spine. And then from there, tuck the toes back into downward facing dog. So we'll use that as our vinyasa for the start of the practice whilst we're warming up. Big step, right foot forwards. Back knee rest down. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Breathe in. And breathe out. Go forwards into that left hip whilst you keep the tailbone long. So whilst the lower back is nice and spacious. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Tuck the back toes. Lift your back knee off the floor. Bring it into a lunge. Pulling in through the waist. Try and push down into that right foot. So you'll feel yourself rise a bit, but it should feel strong through that right leg. Instead of just kind of dropping and letting your body weight be caught, I want you to like try and hold yourself, almost hold yourself a little bit out of that lunge, and then you've got to engage more. Breathe in and out. Rest that back knee again. Take your twist, left arm forwards, right arm back. So you're opening to the right side of the room. Breathe in here. Breathe out, twist more. Breathe in. Breathe out, really twist. Big deep breath. And exhale. Inhale back to center. Reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, take both hands forwards. Step back into downward facing dog. Left side, big step. Bring it forwards. Rest the back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Lift your rib cage, lift your chest, lift your upper body, and then go forwards into that right hip. Breathe. Exhale. In. Take your time, really get deep into those right hip flexors. So squeeze that right glute. Slowly move into the right hip, right thigh. And then tuck the back toes. Strong, lift yourself into a lunge. Breathe in. And breathe out. Drive down into that left foot. So push through the left foot. And as you push down, almost pull that left thigh back. So both hips face forwards. Big full breath in. And full breath out. Slowly rest the back knee. Take a twist, right arm forwards, left arm back. Inhale. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Big breath. And exhale. Inhale back to center, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, take both hands down. Step back into downward facing dog. From there, roll the body forwards to a plank. Rest the knees. Inhale, open the chest forward, so cat-cow. Exhale, arch and round through the spine. Toes tuck. Take it back, downward facing dog. Breathe. And exhale. Give the head a little shake. Release any tension in the back of the neck. Push the heels further down and then rise right up onto the balls of the feet. So lift the heels and then stretch them down and away. Push deeper into the heels, into the soles of the feet. Lift to the toes and stretch the heels down. Walk your feet towards your hands and fold. Let the head be heavy. Let the weight tip forwards. If it feels tight or stressful in the back of the hamstrings, just soften the knees. Relax. You don't need to worry about how perfectly straight the legs are. More important that you can fully relax the weight of the upper body. Slowly roll up. Pull the waist in. Really go slow. Come to standing, bring the feet together. Reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, sit down into a chair. Pull the waist in, lengthen the tailbone down, squeeze the knees together. Your lower ribs, think about pulling them in so they don't flare out. So you might feel like you come a little bit further forwards, but you're stronger through the front of the body. Breathe here for 5. Exhale for 4. Inhale 3. Exhale 2. Inhale 1, stand nice and tall, reach the arms up and back, open the chest. And exhale, fold it forwards, hands come all the way down. Bow the chin in, crown of the head faces down to the ground. Breathe here. Exhale, hold on to the backs of the ankles and pull yourself into a fold. Use the strength in your arms. Use your grip. Bring the chin right into the chest. So remember at the start of the practice when we were seated and we found that stretch into the back of the neck. Find that here. So chin in. And then release. Place the hands down. Step back to a plank. Slowly lower your hips. Gaze forwards. Open the chest, upward facing dog. So the opposite to the fold we just did. Rest your knees. Point your toes. Go all the way back, child's pose. Reaching forwards through the arms. So rest your forehead if you can, but lift your hands off the mat so your fingertips are actively pushing down. Try and walk your fingertips further forwards. Feel the shoulders and the arms stretch. Breathe. And then flatten through the hands. Pull yourself forwards to all fours. Tuck the toes back into downward facing dog. See if there's a bit more space, a bit more room through the chest and the shoulders. Reach the right leg high. Breath in. Breath out. Bring that right knee into the chest and step open into warrior 2. So turn your left toes out. Push into the feet. Take the arms nice and wide. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take your left hand behind your back. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Lift, try and touch the ceiling, and then arch back. So you're really opening that right side as opposed to compressing through the left side. Come forwards, back to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. You can shuffle the back foot in if you like. Hinge from your right hip, reach forwards, lengthen and stretch, 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 and then take the right hand down to the shin, to a block or in space. Lift your left arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. If it's too much to gaze up to the left fingertips, if that's too much in the neck, then just let the weight of the head go. Keep the spine lengthening and just think for a moment, are both sides of the lower back lengthening or are you compressing in that right side? And if you're compressing, lift your hand a bit higher up the right shin and just lengthen that right side of the waist. Breathe. Exhale. Rise all the way up, straight through both legs, strong through both legs. Take the arms nice and high. Turn your right toes in, so you're facing the left side of the room. Keep the arms reaching up to the ceiling. Keep a straight spine. Hinge at your hips, so arms come forwards, but try not to let them drop. Keep that straight line, spine, shoulders, all the way to the hands. Keep going, keep reaching forwards and down. And then take the hands to the floor, fold. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And out. Now feet are firm. Keep your hips where they are. Walk both hands towards your left foot. So there's a side bend in the spine and a big stretch through that right side. So hips stay still. Right side of the body opens and stretches. You might walk your hands further than your left foot. You might walk them closer to the back of the mat. Or you might want to hold on to your left ankle. Use that left ankle to pull yourself round. Breathe in. And out. Now look to your left foot, look to the back of the mat. We're going to pivot on the feet and hands come to the back of the mat. Downward facing dog, facing the back of the room. So step your left foot back, downward facing. Breathe in, roll forwards to a plank. Hold it, really strong, pull the waist in. We're here for a little bit longer, so crown of the head reaches forwards, pushing off your back toes, hips in line with the shoulders, navel in, rest both knees. Inhale, cat-cow, open the chest. Exhale, round through the spine. Really pull the waist in, lower abdominals, tailbone goes long. And then tuck the toes back into downward facing dog. Left leg high, big breath in. Big breath out, bring that left knee into the chest and step. Turn your right toes out. Anchor down into the feet, windmill the arms up and open, warrior two. Breathe in. And breathe out. Stretch the arms wide in. And out. Right hand behind the back. Lift your left arm to the ceiling. Lift and grow tall. Bend that left knee more. Go a bit lower in the left thigh. And then arch back. Really open through that left side. Big stretch. Breathe in. And out. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Shuffle your back foot in once or twice. Reach the left arm to the back of the room, stretch, and then triangle, left hand down to the shin, to a block, or into space. Reach that right arm up. So the full posture, or how the posture is meant to be, in inverted commas, is you'd have that left hand hanging, but if that means that you end up side bending in the left, then it's stupid is the only word I can use. So use your hand, don't be afraid to push down into your shin so that you can hold yourself in better alignment through the spine. Big breath. Exhale. Rise all the way up so both arms go out wide. Turn your left toes back in so you're facing the same side as before. This time, keep the arms out wide. Slowly, oh, I've got cramp in my hip. Slowly hinge forwards at the hips. Ooh. Hands all the way down. And fold. Crown of the head. Faces down to the ground. Hips lift high to the sky. Spine is long. Walk your hands this time round to your right foot. Towards the right foot so you get that nice long stretch through the left side of the body. It's the left waist, a left rib cage, shoulder. Same kind of stretch that you feel when we do reverse warrior. You might walk the hands even further, or you might use the ankle as something to pull against. And your hands come to the top of the mat. Pivot on your toes. So you can step back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out forwards to a plank. Hold that plank really strong. Bring your feet together. Squeeze the inner ankles. Squeeze the inner thighs. Draw the lower abdominals in. And then rest the knees. Inhale, look forwards, open the chest. Exhale, take it back, round through the spine. Toes tuck, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Bend the knees, soften. Walk your feet towards your hands. Keep the feet about hip width. If you have blocks, place a block beneath each hand. If you don't have blocks, use your fingertips, but this will be nicer. You'll be able to get a better sense of height if you have blocks beneath the hands. We've just opened quite a lot through the side of the waist. So coming into half moon, push your right foot down, take your left leg back, and slowly left hand comes to left hip as you open the hips to face the left. So that's your first option. The second option is to lift that left arm up to the sky. And then a little bit of a challenge if you want it. Keep your left leg stretching back. Take your left arm overhead and reach for the front of the room. So you just open and lengthen that left side of the body. Just changes things slightly and really stretches that side line. 2, 1, slowly, hands and feet down. Soften and fold. Make a big breath in. And a big breath out. Notice the difference through the left and the right side of the waist or of your body. And then we go pushing into the hands and the left foot. Take your right leg back. Then when you feel ready, your right hand comes to the right hip. Slowly open to face the right side of the room. And reach your right arm up to the sky. Breathe. If you want that extra little challenge, right arm goes overhead. Just throws your balance really. It's not necessarily any harder, but it's just not what you're used to. So it's good to practice. And then both hands and both feet down. Fold through the body. If you have blocks now, instead of them being in front of you, place them either side of your feet. So one either side of your feet, so just to the outside. Roll up to standing. Take your hands to your waist. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then step your right foot back about 2 or 3 feet. And make sure that when you step it back, you aren't on one really narrow step. So have hip width through the feet. Your hips are facing forwards, hands to the waist. Engage your thighs. So lift the kneecaps so your legs are strong. And then start to hinge forwards. If you feel like it's too much through the hamstrings and you need to soften the knees a little, then just soften. You're going to bring the spine forwards. And when you get down, so you're about parallel to the floor, take your hands to blocks if you had them, or fingertips to the floor, and let the rest of the spine round. So you're looking back to your right knee, you're looking to the bottom, the base of your yoga mat. Breathing in, breathing out. It's a good stretch through both sides, through both legs, backs of both legs. Breathe in and breathe out. If you do want to make that a bit harder, more of a challenge, you can lift your left toes so that you're balancing on your left heel. Just takes it even more into that left hamstring. Breathe in and out. Take your blocks or your hands and walk them back towards your right foot. You might have to just slightly turn the fingers out. So you're reaching back, and then you can almost pull yourself a bit more into that fold. Now, a little bit of a challenge for those of you that like to do things that frustrate you, that are really hard. If you want, you can come onto your back right toes. So you bend that right knee. So instead of that right leg being straight, you bend it. And then maybe you lift the right foot off the floor. It's one of those things that's a real bugger. So don't worry if you don't go there. Walk your hands or your blocks forwards, 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 all the way to the top of the mat, and lift your right leg nice and high. Big stretch up with that right leg. Pour the body weight forwards. Look to your left ankle. Breathe in and out. Step your right foot next to your left foot. Place your blocks back to the outsides of the feet and roll up through standing. Breathe in and breathe out. Now from here, right foot stays down, left ankle crosses over. Oops. So you have that figure of 4. Hands into prayer, bending your right knee. Look down to the ground and reach your arms forward so that you can just rest your fingertips and fold. If your hands don't easily come to the ground and you have blocks, then you have a bit more height to play with. We're trying to bend as much as we can into that right knee and really let the body weight pour forwards. The closer you can get your upper body and your belly to the thighs or to the shin, then the more you're going to feel that stretch, the deeper the stretch. Big breath. Exhale. In and out. Slowly roll up. Take your time. And then have a good shake out through both legs. Okay, stand back, both feet together about hip width. Blocks out to the side, hands to the hips. Step back with your left leg. So again, about 2 or 3 feet, making sure there's space between them widthways. And then legs are strong, so try lifting the kneecaps with your quads and fold forwards. So as I fold forwards, if I look at my thighs, they're bulging, like trying to bulge the muscle of your thighs. Slowly fold, slowly fold. And then hands might come to blocks or to the ground. And one side might be stiffer than the other side. So if that's the case, you can just bend the knees, slowly come into it, don't force anything. You might be playing with lifting those right toes, so it's a little bit more intense through that right leg. Breathe. Exhale. In and out. Then just walk your hands and your blocks a bit further back. So your upper body is pulled deeper into that stretch. It's pulled deeper without you even really doing anything. It's just the direction of the arms, the direction that you're sending the weight of the upper body. And then maybe you bend that back knee and you're on your back toes. Your weight is in your right foot and your hands if you want to practice lifting that left foot. And then slowly walk your hands forwards, forwards, forwards. Lift the left leg. Look down to your right ankle. Bow, fold. And then place both feet down. Slowly roll up. Super slow. Take your time. And you're going to take your right ankle on your left thigh. Hands into prayer. And slowly sit into that stretch. You can lean on, you can kind of lean or pull on furniture or a table if there's one nearby, or bring the hands forwards, but it's nice to have somewhere to rest the hands. Oh, this side is so tight. You're trying to bend the left knee. Breathe in and out. Breathe. Okay, slowly come up from that. Give both legs a good shake out. Reach the arms up to the sky. Big inhale. Big exhale, fold it forwards all the way down. Relax the weight of the head. Take a big breath in and out. Hands down, step your feet back. Downward facing dog. Pull the waist in so you're supported around your lower back. Have the feet about hip width, so there's a good amount of space between the feet. Roll forwards to your plank. Now we're going side plank to the right. You can rest your left knee, would be the easiest option, but still a challenge. If you want something more, roll to your right, lifting your right foot. So don't let that right foot rest. So you take a side plank with that right foot lifted, or you rest it, or you have the left knee rested. You just take your option and bring it back. We're going to the left. So do the same on the left-hand side. Think about trying to keep space around the shoulders, the neck, the chest. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Big step, right foot to the outside of the right hand. Rest your back left knee down. Lift your right arm. Now we did that really early on, so just see how that feels compared to at the start of practice. Stay here is your first option. Second option, and this depends where you are on your back knee really. Before we go there, if you look at my back knee, it's quite flat to the floor. I've almost got my thigh down. Now, if you're more here and you're on the knee itself, then lifting that might not be so comfy. So if you are there on the knee, work on coming forwards in the hips first of all. But if you do want to bend that back knee, you can reach back. I mean, you're very welcome to reach back at any stage, but it just won't be so comfy if you're on the kneecap itself. Think about squeezing that left glute, really unlocking the front of the left thigh. And slowly release. Step back into downward facing dog. Nice and slow. Left side, big step. Rest your back knee down. Lift your left arm. Welcome to just stay there. Notice how much you can make the stretch stronger by just squeezing that right glute. And then maybe you're bending the back knee, reaching around. Breathe. If you're reaching around, make sure you keep good pressure down through that right arm and you don't just collapse through the right shoulder. Breathe. And slowly, carefully let it go. Both hands down. Step back into downward facing dog. Pull in through the waist. Roll yourself forwards into a plank. Rest the knees. Inhale, look forwards, open the chest. Exhale, round through the spine. Neutral through the spine. So nice straight line through the back. We'll go left side first. So lift your left leg up and back with the knee bent. I want you to reach your right arm forwards and then reach up with the right arm as much as you can up to the ceiling. Maybe take it back and find the foot or just tap for the foot. And then if you can't quite grab it this time, maybe reach up and around again, open it into the chest and the shoulder. And you might do that a couple of times to find it, or a couple of times just to tap it and get used to opening the chest and the shoulder there. Breathe. If you're there, lift the foot as much as you're challenging that right shoulder. So make sure it's even, the challenge in the right shoulder and the left hip. Squeeze your left glute, lift the left knee higher. And then slowly let it go. Both hands, both knees. Just take a moment to lengthen back into a child's pose. Forehead to the ground. And then come forwards to all fours. Right knee goes up and back. Left arm reaches forwards. Swim the left arm around. Try and tap the toes. And then maybe you go once or twice more. If you find it, lift the right knee. Squeeze the right glutes. Make sure the challenge is as much from that right hip as it is the chest and the shoulder. If you do too much chest and shoulder, you'll just arch into the back. But I want you to use that right glute to strengthen and support the lower back. Slowly release. Both hands, both knees. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees and hover back into a squat position. So you're pushing your hands down, stretching the lower back, but there's tension in the soles of the feet. And then rest the knees, release the toes, sit into a child's pose. Breathe. Exhale. In and out. Push into the hands. Come forwards. Walk your knees forwards. And have a seat. Now, if you have your 2 blocks, bring them with you. I don't have 2 blocks, but I'm just going to demonstrate something with foam rollers. For those of you that this space has become a lot worse since I gave it a really good tidy up recently, and now this is this side is nothing, this side is a bomb site. Right, so you're going left shin is parallel to the top of the mat. So if you're at the top of the mat, your left shin is parallel. Your right foot is coming on your left knee. So you may well then be here, and you might feel like that right hip is really tight and it can't go down. Where we're trying to go is we're trying to take that right knee onto the left foot so that your shins are ultimately stacked one on top of the other. Now, the reason it's easier if you have blocks is one block can go under the left knee and one block can go between the left foot and the right knee. So now I can actually kind of rest here, and I can just bring my arms, either rest on your top leg or reach forwards. If you don't have equipment, you can always just stuff like a cushion or something in that space. If you're trying to work it down and rest, it might be enough to just really slightly lean the body weight forwards. If I just show you side on, when I have my legs in that exact position, it's actually enough to just tilt my weight a little bit forwards. And if you think this is easy, look at where your feet are, because they're probably wrong, because it's not easy or pleasant for many people. So we're trying to get right into the outside of that right hip in particular. So if you do think it's easy, your right foot probably isn't exactly on top of your left knee. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly come up. Take both legs out, give them a shake. And then we'll go the other side together. So right shin lies across, and then left foot comes on your right knee. And your left knee goes down. Now, if you need to block it up, place one block or cushion or something below your right knee and one in this gap here on the left. And then it's easier. It's still by no means easy, but you might just tilt the weight a little bit forwards. Take 3 deep breaths. Try not to rush them. And slowly come up. Okay, take both legs out, give them a little bit of a shake. We're rolling back, so just move your blocks out to the side and bring it all the way back down. Bend the knees, plant the feet to the edges of the mat. And take your left foot, place it on your right thigh. We'll stick with the theme of working around the hips. So take the arms out wide, So feel the space around you. Your left foot, your left ankle is staying glued to the right thigh. But as you let that right thigh fall out to the side, I want your left foot to come down and touch the floor. So the sole of your left foot will touch the floor on the right side of the room. Now look back up to the sky. Try and keep that left hip heavy. So relax that left hip. And then your left knee, push it away. So with your hand maybe, or just on its own, push that left knee, left thigh away from you. And it should be a strong, quite intense opening on the front of the left thigh, left hip, kind of the groin area. That left foot can slightly lift off the floor. Breathe. Exhale. In and out. Breathe. Okay, now with your right hand, reach over the left thigh. And now just pull that left thigh down to the ground. So you come into a more normal twist position. So you're pulling that left thigh, left hip over to the right. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And back to center. Stretch both legs out and just give them a little bit of a shake. And then walk the feet in. Place your right ankle on your left thigh. Relax that right hip. Roll your left knee over to the left side of the room and your right foot will come down and catch the ground. And you're trying to let that right knee then move away from you. You might use your hand to just push the thigh away. Try and make that right hip heavy. And then reach over your right thigh. So you'll have to bring it a bit closer. Take a twist. Right thigh goes over to the left. Look to the right. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. And back to center. Give both knees a hug into the chest. So just opened a lot through the front of the hips. So we'll take a back bend before we finish practice. Feet go down, arms down by the side. Your first option is to lift the hips and stretch through the front of the thighs, pushing down into the feet, squeezing the glutes. So use that strength from the back of the body. If you want to go all the way up, there might be a couple of you that sometimes go all the way up. You can take your hands, fingers point back to the shoulders, hands push down. Really go for it. Strong through the wrists and strong through the arms. So push down as you lift your chest up and back. If you're staying in that half bridge position, just keep your glutes squeezed on. If you're going all the way up, tailbone long, chest up and back, feet push down. Open through the front of the body, relax the weight of the head. We're here for 3, 2, 1, make that descent slow. So roll down through the spine. Just let your knees rest in and touch on one another. Hands onto the belly, close the eyes. Take a big deep breath, let the belly expand. And exhale, let it go. Breathe in. And out. And then stretch your feet as wide as you would like them to rest for Shavasana. Hands can either stay on the body, on the belly, or maybe you let the arms fall out to the side. Eyes are closed, eyes are soft. Jaw is relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. And just be still. Nothing to do. Don't need to rush. Notice the absence of any stress or tension or grip around the hips. So the legs are heavy and relaxed, feet slightly turned out. Heavy and relaxed through the back of the body and the shoulders. Soft into the shoulders, the neck, the throat. Relaxed in the expression across the face. Really slowly increase the volume of the breath. So on each round, it's just getting a little bit bigger, slightly more expansive through the chest, the rib cage. Slightly more movement beneath the hands if the hands still are on the body. Wriggle the fingers, wriggle the toes. Reach the arms overhead, lengthen and open through the chest, through the shoulders. And then bring the knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Keeping the eyes closed if you can, rock yourself to a seat. Sit tall, hands on the knees or the thighs or in the lap. Big breath in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Big breath in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. And then bring your hands into Prayer Heart Center. Thank yourself for making time to come and practice this morning. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.